So many people don't realize this. Sometimes they'll go on 5 cruises and still not realize this. Okay, you didn't hear it from me, okay? Cruise tips you need to know. So take advantage of all of it. You paid for this. Take advantage of all of it. Do not tell them that you know. Hi guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about cruise tips you need to know. Okay, like you have to know these. I've been on 31 cruises. I might know a thing or two. I hope you take some value out of this. Let's get started. So number 1, cabins. You got your interior, your ocean view, your balcony, your suites. Interior. Interior is the cheapest option. You don't have a window. No window. So if you are claustrophobic, don't book it. Don't book it. But honestly, I survived interior cabin. You get the best. Okay, if you want the best sleep of your life, book interior. Best sleep of your life. It's like blackout curtains all day, every day. It's always blacked out. There's like no light. You won't know what time it is. Literally. Best sleep is interior and you're gonna save a shit ton of money. If you're claustrophobic, definitely go with the balcony. Ocean view, I feel like is so underrated because I like to have that natural light. Even when we had a balcony, we don't really use it too much, honestly. It didn't justify that big price gap. So maybe you're ocean view person. Just know what category you're booking and be well aware of it. Number 2, get a room that's midship. So ideally, get a room that's midship, mid-level. That's what you're gonna want because you are gonna want to avoid rooms that are on the lower floor towards the front of the ship. I'm not a big fan of the front of the ship, period, but lower rooms of the front of the ship, that's when it's like, if you get seasick, you're done. You're toast. Like that's where it's the rockiest. So even staying in the back of the ship is a little bit better, but always midship is the best. Like it's the most stable. Ships nowadays have great stabilizers, but I'm letting you know that if you get seasick at all, these are the ideal rooms. And also being midship, you're in the middle of everything. It's kind of easy to walk around. So highly recommend. Number 3, cruise lines started doing this recently, not super recently. They started their bidding programs that people don't take advantage of, and how you bid is important. So let's say you kind of wanted more of a balcony room, but you had an interior budget. Go ahead and book that interior and we're going to bid for it. No guarantees, but when you bid for it, you got to bid smart as well. I'm going to teach you how to bid. You're in an interior right now. So what you're going to do, make sure you know how to bid. That's important. There's going to be some strategies, right? Let's say the balcony bid is minimum $100. If you put $100, everybody else and their mom is going to put $100. You need to be putting any kind of increments that you put, like let's say 150, 130, 140. Make sure you put $1 above. This is like bidding trick. If they're going to put 120, you need to put 121. Okay. I actually like the 2s, 122, just in case, you know, people are thinking ahead. You're like thinking ahead, you know, 122, 132, throw them off. Don't stick to the minimum. Depending on how bad you want the room, obviously bid more because you're still going to save money if you actually really wanted that category. But that is the best bidding strategy I could think of. That usually works. Number 4, upgrading your room when you board. You can also do this. Go to guest services. Be the first person to get to guest services on day 1 and ask them for an upgrade. Sometimes it's very minimal, the fee that they're asking for. They'll sometimes tell you to come back the next day, like the next morning. Actually, they're not the next morning. I think later at night, because once they figure out all the no-shows, then some cabins kind of open up and now you got options. That's when they like know for certain. But I would check always the first time you board, get to guest services, maybe that evening and then that morning. Check back again for the upgrades. They'll let you know if it's available. It's a great way to get a great deal on a cabin. Number 5, each cabin gets to bring 2 bottles of wine. So 1 per person. Take advantage of this. If you don't drink, okay, I get it. But if you do drink at all, definitely take advantage of it. Okay, here's a really ghetto side hack. Okay, ghetto, but we're moving. They literally sell on Amazon. I don't know what they're called. They look like Ziplocky sealed bags. You can pour liquor or alcohol or whatever you want in it. It's against the rules to bring alcohol on board. Obviously, they want you to buy it. They're called runners, and you can pour alcohol in them and bring them with you and hopefully not get caught. There's also, let's get a little bit more sophisticated. There's so many. Oh my God, they're all out there. This one's really sophisticated. Taking the wine bottle and putting liquor in it and then sealing the top. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but I've seen it done. It's kind of easy. Okay, you didn't hear it from me, okay? But like there's like the Listerine hack and then the hairspray and then the water bottle. There's just so many things that people are real creative, okay? But y'all are adults. You are accountable for yourself and your life decisions and your embarrassing life decisions if you get caught. Do not tell them that you know me. Number 6, book excursions early and book through a third party. I know people are gonna be like, no, but they're gonna leave us and we're gonna get stranded. I've been on 31 cruises. I've never been left behind. We've never booked through the cruise lines because the markup is insane. It's always like re-X or something. I can pull up some prices for you. Fucking ridiculous. So freaking ridiculous. The cruise lines make money off of those huge margins, and their main selling point is that they'll wait for you, and if you book through a third party, you're gonna get left behind and it's gonna be very dramatic and all that. Trust me, it's fine. Just do it. Make sure you keep an eye on the time. And honestly, many of these tour providers, vet your tour providers, many of them that are professional, that have a million reviews and all that, great reviews, they will ask you what ship you're on, so they know what time it is. They will track it. They will make sure you get back to your ship super early. They will take care of you. We always want to prepare for the worst, right? Just make sure that you have your passports on you, your credit cards, and you're good, right? Hope for the best, but always prepare for the worst of the worst. We don't want to be those people that go through all that drama. Just in case, be prepared. But like I said, it's a very, very rare thing, honestly. But it's usually people that lollygag and not going through like an actual tour group. People that actually just go off on their own are usually the people that get left behind. Most people do this and we're all fine. Just don't fall for the scare tactic, okay? It's just a sales thing. Number 7, when you first get on, or before, if you're able to, make sure that you make all your specialty dining reservations that you want to, and especially show reservations, like on Royal Caribbean. Honestly, they fill up pretty fast and you really don't want to be waiting 45 minutes in the waitlist line. You want reservation. For the show reservations, you have to be on board using the app to book the reservations. So make sure you get all of that done like the first day, right when you get on. The more prepared you are, the more enjoyable and less stressful it will be. Get it all done when you get on board, okay? Better if you get it before, but only some. When you first get on board, try to get on board early and go straight to the buffet. Don't explore the ship. Do that after. Go straight to the buffet. Why? Because it fills up so freaking fast that first day. If there's no other dining options, okay? If there's other dining options, especially complimentary, even if you wanted to do specialty dining the first day, go for it. Because then you avoid all the chaos of the buffet. That first day, full day, even dinner, main dining room dinner, first night, and lunch first day, it's a shit show. It's always a shit show. It's so chaotic. Lunchtime, you won't be able to find a table, and sometimes main dining room waits the first night is like an hour plus, an hour and a half. Ugh, it's just gross. You don't want to be there. It's literally a madhouse. So if you can get in and get out really cleanly, maybe do the buffet, like get it on the ship early, go to the buffet and get the heck out, and then go explore the ship. Okay, number 8. So the rooms are generally not ready until usually about 1 p.m. is usually the average time. Sometimes up to 2 p.m., maybe even a little bit after that. You don't want to be carrying anything that's super heavy, and you don't want to bring things on board that you don't want to lug around that first day, because you're going to be holding it for a few hours. This is also a good chance for you to explore the ship while you're waiting for your room. And if you are a super seasoned cruiser and you're a badass, I've seen this done so many times, pack your bikinis in your tow or your carry-on, whatever, so that you can go to the bathroom, change, and hop right into the pool where nobody uses the pool the first day, and it's wonderful, and there's likely no urine in it. Number 9, there's a lot of free entertainment and free dining options, so take advantage of all of it. You paid for this. Take advantage of all of it. Do try a specialty restaurant here and there, but don't go crazy. I would not recommend booking a specialty restaurant every night of the week. Just don't recommend it. I feel like the food in main dining is just as good. It's not a huge difference for me. The only thing that I've ever liked is the chopstick house on Royal. That's the only like, ooh, this is a big, huge step up. Other than that, everything has been so-so. Let's see. Number 10. So many people don't realize this. Sometimes they'll go on 5 cruises and still not realize this unless they sit with me as a table mate or they're staring at me going down my 3rd lobster. But you can get more than 1 appetizer, 1 entree, 1 dessert. You can get as much as you want. You don't have to wait to finish your 1 appetizer or your 1 entree to order another one. You can go ahead and do that when they're taking your order. Let's say you want to customize it and you want to do 5 appetizers, no entree, 2 desserts. Just order that. It's perfectly fine. They're there to make you happy. Just don't be the biggest pain in the ass and ask for a million things, like customization wise, but you can order as much as your heart desires and the way you desire. If you just want to have 20 soups and nothing else, all you boo-boo. So this tip used to work for lobster night. So back it up. So sometimes many cruises will have a formal night, which is a lobster night. Sometimes a Carnival doesn't do it on their formal night for some reason, or they'll change the day that they serve lobster, but they'll usually have a lobster night night, unless it's like a really short cruise. Sometimes they'll skip it. But if you have like a 7-day cruise, you're pretty much a shoe-in for a lobster night. And this tip where people didn't realize that they could ask for seconds and thirds of the lobster. And that's what we would do. And sometimes we would just tell them ahead because like, the lobster tail is usually really, really small. I'd be like, can I have 3? Usually what they'll say is I can bring you 2 first and then I can bring you like the third one after you finish the 2, which is perfectly fine. But like it's nice to give your waiter a heads up and tip them well, because they are not a big fan of doing this because they're trying to make sure that there's enough lobster tails for everyone, right? You don't want to be at the 6 o'clock dining eating all the lobster so the 9 p.m. people got nothing to eat. That's not cool, right? Try to go in the middle or the end. That's when they really know how much lobster they have left. They replenish it every sailing. Cruise lines have actually caught on to this. Many people don't know that they can ask for seconds, thirds, but I guess people are figuring it out and cruise lines have caught on, and also inflation and all that. Everything's like crazily priced. So now they're cutting back on that, and they'll, like a celebrity for sure. They were saying basically if you had a second lobster, we would have to charge you kind of thing. So there's a surcharge for your second or third lobster. I just sailed the Sun Princess. We still got 2 lobster tails, but the waiter did inform us that the third one is going to cost extra, which we were totally cool with. I'm totally cool with 2 lobster tails. Number 12, aside from Virgin Cruises and small luxury cruise lines, there is usually no freaking water in the cabin. No agua, no water, no H2O, zip, nada. Sometimes what they'll do, Royal doesn't do this, Carnival does. They'll have big water bottles for sale. If you open it, they'll charge you, it's like $5 or something like that. And I get it. They do that so that they can push their beverage package, which is freaking annoying. But it's just so sad because then a lot of people, especially cruise newbies that come on, they're so dehydrated. We are seasoned cruisers, and sometimes if we don't have water, like it's a nightmare. Trust me, it's a nightmare. When you are dehydrated, it's just a pain in the ass. And so many people don't realize that there's no water, and it's like so hard to freaking find water. There's a few places you can get water: the buffet, the cafe, and the gym. Those are your 3 places solid to always find water. I would recommend, highly recommend, you bring a fat jug or a water canteen and fill that shit up and leave it in the room, so that in the middle of the night or whatever, when you're back in the room and you don't want to walk all the way across the ship to get water, you have water in the room. It's literally so sad when they don't have any water in the room. I just don't get it. I'm actually with Carnival. I'd rather them sell it to me than not having any water at all in the room. It's just so messed up. We are big water drinkers and we get so thirsty and dehydrated, and just like your energy gets so drained and you're like just literally dying. But please, when you refill your water jug or your canteen, make sure that you're using a new cup and you're not shoving the jug under the dispenser, because then you know where you put your mouth and it's bacteria and it's just splashing everywhere. It's not a good time. Be mindful and be considerate of other people. Just use a cup and just, pour it in. If you don't want to bring a water jug, I would recommend that you get into the habit of every time you come back to the room, bring 2 cups of water. Every time you come back to the room, bring 2 cups of water. That way you always have water in the room. Even if the water is stale, at least you have water. Number 13, know how long it takes to get from the cruise port to your airport if you're flying out that same day. If you're not, then don't worry about it. But if you are, make sure that you're not taking a flight before 11 a.m. because it's really risky. I think you can try, especially if you get off first. You're the first ones to get off without the luggage taxi. When you drag your own luggage down at 7 a.m. ish, you're fine. But other than that, I would not risk it. I think it's just too tight. Even if you had TSA, like there are a million things could go wrong and you could miss your flight. Do it in the afternoon, at least 12 o'clock. They usually kick you off by 9 a.m. So 12 o'clock is a really good marker. Number 14, so getting off the ship. Disembarkation. So disembarkation, when you're disembarking, leaving the ship, I like to be like one of the last ones. So I would recommend either being super an early bird and getting off with your luggage, or 2, like me, lollygagging until you're almost the last ones off. Because that way you avoid this huge, ridiculous line. It's like lines after lines after lines, lines to get scanned, lines for everything, lines, and immigration, lines. There's just a lot of lines. You can tell I don't like lines. Hate lines. Can you tell? So it doesn't matter if my luggage tag is number 17 and they're calling out number 30. I'm still not moving. I usually just find a space that they're not cleaning and I just hang out there so I'm out of the way. And I make sure all the crowds are gone, and then that's when I like get up and try to get off. Even when most people are off and I'm like one of the last ones are off, there's still like a small line, which is tolerable. But like I said, the number one thing about doing that is that people are worried that their bag is gonna get taken. No one's gonna take your bag. No one's gonna take your bag. Trust. No one's gonna take your bag. 31 cruises, we've never had a bag taken, and I've never seen it. Also, you shouldn't have anything valuable in those bags. It should just be tidy whities and your swimsuits, literally. So the bag will be down there when you get down, even though you're number 8 and there's like 35 groups, your bag will still be there at the port when you come down. And the really nice part is that because everyone else before you already left, your bag will be sitting there, the only one with that group number. And so you can just spot it and you just grab it. So there's no need to look for your bag. Thank me later. So my friend Kathy that I met on a cruise was so shocked when she saw us do this. And so she hung back with us and she's like, oh wow, like I had no idea. But her anxiety wouldn't allow her to be like the last ones to get off. But she still stayed for a while. So at least she wasn't stuck in the gigantic line of people trying to get off. I hope you found these tips super useful. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you got extra tips that I don't know about that I did not mention, please remember to like the video. Please, por favor. Love you. Long time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.